This is my 14 Pro 4X. Front is the stock height. Rear has a 1-inch block. I don't have perfectly level ground here to show you very well, but I'll show you the difference in the wheel wells. So I've got, I can't see, I see the tape perfectly fine, but the camera doesn't. Got about 8.5 inches of clearance there. And I've got about 6 here. So I do have the 1-inch block in the rear. I'm going to add a 1.5-inch block in the front. It's actually the diameter, or the width of the block is about 1 inch, but it works out to be a 1.5-inch lift. That's the PRG mini lift kit. First gen Pro 4Xs come with a factory 2-inch lift, so I'll end up with 3 inches in the back and 2.5 inches in the front over any regular Titan. So we'll install that and we'll check back and see how much of a difference we made in the front. So I've got the wheel off and the strut out. I decided not to do a full video on this because there's lots of videos on the subject. I just wanted to give you some tips in case you watch one of those videos that isn't that great. My kit came with fairly good instructions from PRG. It has the torque specs in there. Spacer to strut torque 15 foot-pounds, and I've used blue Loctite on that. And this PRG spacer is a bit different. It has bolts that go down from the top that thread into the spacer. Other kits have the bolts that come up and then you put the nuts on the top. And so use the stock nuts on that, and then you put the new bolts in. So some tips: got a bungee cord so this spindle doesn't fall out. And a lot of videos I watched tell you to disconnect the tie rod end, which you don't have to do at all. You don't have to take the brake caliper off either. That's a waste of time unless you're going to service the brakes. So don't do that. I've got a jack underneath the control arm, bottom control arm. And what I did was I just lowered it down slightly, so the spindle would drop off the ball joint when after that was loose. So just lower that down, tie that up, and that's all you got to do. So I'm going to put this together, bolt it up. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Like I said, I'm not going to do a full video on this, but I will show you what it looks like after, and we'll get the after measurement as well. Okay, one more thing. In some of these videos, you see the guys torquing on these shocks, trying to turn them after they've put the spacers on because the bolts don't align. You don't want to do that. What you do, so the sticker here, this was the outside, so this was facing out. So you can see the orientation on here. So that's the stock bolt there, and this is going to be the new location. So turn it around halfway and put it in that way, so it will line up just like that perfectly. You don't need to torque on the springs, you don't need to turn the shocks around, they're not meant to do that. You just turn the sticker in. There you go. That's all you do for that. So 2 more quick things. Once you have your spacer in, you're increasing the length of your shock. You are going to have to lower this lower control arm lower than when you had to take the strut out. So use your jack, drop it down a little bit more, and then to clear the sway bar, take your pry bar, put it under the control arm, and you can push down on the sway bar there to clear when you're taking it out and putting it back in. So welcome back. I've got the front block installed. So leveling kit or lift kit, whatever you want to call it. 1-inch diameter block. Raised it, supposed to raise it 1.5 inches, but as you can see, we've got most of the rake out. There's still a bit of rake. We're a bit higher in the back. So we'll check it out. So we're pretty close to 8 inches in the front. These are 33-inch tires, the stock size on a Pro4X. You can probably go bigger now with the front block. We're still about 8.5 in the rear. So I've got about a 1/2-inch rake. It looks pretty good. I like the results. I do like having some rake, especially when you're towing, hauling. The back tends to drop anyways. But the install was a bit tricky with the rust and with the undercoating on the truck. There was some undercoating on the threads. It was pretty difficult to get some of those bolts out. I used mostly hand tools, but it would be a lot easier on a newer truck for sure. So thanks for watching. Check back for more videos. Please subscribe.